I've never been wrong. I have a flawless track record when it comes to opinions, especially in the gaming industry, but I was wrong about Vanguard. It's also been a minute since I've made a video. I've been sick the last week, and every time I tried to record, my voice sounded like you put a bunch of cats in a pillowcase and started beating it. So if I sound a little bit more raspy than I usually do, that's why. First thing, I was wrong about Vanguard. It's not as good as I believed it to be. That's not saying that I dislike the game, because I still really enjoy playing the game. It's just, as of recently, it's felt boring and bland. This is usually the time during the Call of Duty cycle where players start to dislike the game, but since Vanguard had such a rocky start, the players, I would say majority of them at least, disliked the game from the beginning. But my Call of Duty cycle looks a little bit different. I usually start off with that camo grind, really like the game like a majority of players do when a Call of Duty first comes out. But then even when they start to die off and get burnt out on the game, I still really enjoy it, because once I complete the camo grind, I feel like I can now explore the game and use any weapon I want at any time, because I have everything unlocked multiplayer wise. And I really enjoyed Vanguard up until now, but it just feels like it's getting stale and boring. Not that I hate the game, and I want to make it abundantly clear, I enjoy playing the game, and I've had a lot of fun with this game. As underrated and as underappreciated as it is, I enjoy it, and I'm not going to try and defend the game, because that's just fighting a losing battle where you can't win. Because even someone that enjoys the game and appreciates it like me, I even know it's a complete miss in the Call of Duty franchise. And I'm not saying that to cater to the majority of people that I assume dislike the game. I just know that it's not the best Call of Duty out there. It's one of the worst we've seen, and that's just from firsthand experience from playing every Call of Duty from COD 4 till current day. And I'm pretty sure I've used this analogy maybe in a video like 9-10 months ago, so if you haven't heard it before, enjoy. Call of Duty for me is like pizza. Even when pizza is bad, it's still good, and that's the same with Call of Duty. I still enjoyed some of the worst entries in the franchise. I had a lot of fun with Ghosts. I had a lot of fun with Advanced Warfare. Hell, even Infinite Warfare, as much as I hate that game, I still had a decent amount of fun in. I've just realized more and more after playing Vanguard for so long how much the game actually lacks. Maybe I've kind of blocked out the negative aspect of the game because I myself haven't experienced a lot of the issues the majority of players had when it comes to packet loss or bad skill-based matchmaking or any of the hundreds of issues that Vanguard has had. I haven't experienced a lot of that firsthand myself. I've only heard of it happening. So that makes my perspective on the game a little different from someone who's going to experience a lot of that negative stuff. And I know it has its issues, and I'm not trying to sweep it under the rug, but when you don't experience the issues yourself, it makes it hard to sympathize with someone who is experiencing it. And one thing I never understood until this game is why people in the modern age of gaming don't like World War II games. Because for me, when I was growing up playing World at War and World War II, Battlefield 5, any World War II shooter, I never understood why people dislike that era when it comes to an FPS game. But after playing Cold War and Modern Warfare so much, I don't know why it took me this long to understand, but I completely understand now why World War II era shooters feel bland. It feels like it's just missing something. I'll be playing Vanguard multiplayer and the maps have great design, like they have great flow to them. But recently I've been noticing it feels like the maps are missing a lot of depth. And it's not that the art style sucks, it just feels empty, if that makes sense. There's times where I'm playing on a map like Bocage or Red Star, and the maps just feel barren and empty, and I get that's what World War II was like, so I can't blame the developers for that, but it's just really hard to make an interesting map in a World War II setting, and I completely understand that. Because of the time era, you're limited with what you can do with the set design. So if you compare maps from Cold War, Modern Warfare 2019, and Black Ops 3 to Vanguard's obviously going to have the most bland and watered down maps when it comes to set design. That doesn't mean that they're doing a bad job of representing what World War II is like. Honestly, I'm no history buff, so I have really no valid opinion when it comes to this, but I think they do a good job of capturing the World War II essence. It's just hard to make it fun and exciting when Vanguard takes place in World War II. And because of that realization, if Vanguard was, let's say, a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019 and it had the modern maps, I think the game overall instantly becomes way more well perceived than it already is. I think Vanguard was fighting a losing battle before the game was even launched because of the time era that it was set in. Because to some extent, it limits the creativity that the devs have when it comes to making their game. For multiplayer wise, we pretty much know the general area of the maps and what they're going to look like. Like, we know that the eastern front of the war is probably going to be snowy and barren and wide open, where if you look at the Pacific maps, it's probably going to be some tropical island. That's to be expected. We've seen World War II settings in so many different forms of media that we just know what to expect when it comes to a World War II story. I think there's not a lot of stuff we can really cover in terms of media when it comes to World War II that we haven't seen already. I think the most unique out of anything video game wise would be Wolfenstein. And Call of Duty doesn't seem to be the company to go down that route, because Call of Duty has, at least for 90% of the games, has been grounded in reality. Even in terms of Infinite Warfare and the advanced futuristic Call of Duties, those are still grounded in reality just as much as Star Wars is grounded in reality with the Cold War and World War II. And for those that don't know, this is really off topic, but I just feel like I have to explain it. Star Wars is based off of World War II and the Cold War and a lot of real world events that are based on history. I thought that was just a cool fact that I wanted to share. I don't know if it adds anything to the argument, but I digress. I feel like the game is also just too easy for me now. I've put in so many hours into the Atomic Camel grind that I know every map like the back of my hand. Even the background gameplay, I'm playing on a map that I absolutely hate, and I'm still dropping a V2 rocket, and the game's just getting too easy for me. Maybe that's why I'm starting to get bored of it. I don't hate the game. I know it has a lot of issues, and it's going to take a lot of time to fix those issues. Probably so long that Vanguard's going to be long forgotten before a lot of the stuff gets fixed, if it ever gets fixed. I like the game still. I don't hate it. I was just wrong about Vanguard and how good it actually was. I don't know if I was just trying to give myself false hopes of the game being better because when the game's better, YouTube does better, and because YouTube's my job. If you boil it down, I rely on the success of Call of Duty to be successful myself, but I kind of grew up and got past that, and maybe that's why I'm starting to dislike the game now. And I want to say one more time, I don't hate the game. I still enjoy it and have fun playing it. It's just, I was wrong compared to where I originally stood when it came to my opinion on Vanguard. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Use code WILD, gamersubs.gg, help supports me in the channel. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.